Inheritance.
Property received from someone.
Receive inheritance. Receive inheritance. Family inheritance. Family inheritance. Inheritance tax. Inheritance tax. Accuracy.
The state of being correct.
High accuracy. High accuracy. Accuracy of data. Accuracy of data. Check accuracy. Check accuracy. Mortal.
Subject to death.
Mortal wound. Mortal wound. Mortal enemy. Mortal enemy. Mortal life. Mortal life. Liner.
A ship or makeup base.
Ocean liner. Ocean liner. Apply eyeliner. Apply eyeliner. Luxury liner. Luxury liner. Abrupt.
Unexpected or rude.
Abrupt change. Abrupt change. Abrupt ending. Abrupt ending. Abrupt manner. Abrupt manner. Registration.
The act of signing up.
Car registration. Car registration. Online registration. Online registration. Registration form. Registration form. Exhaustion.
Extreme tiredness.
Total exhaustion. Total exhaustion. Collapse from exhaustion. Collapse from exhaustion. Mental exhaustion. Mental exhaustion. Cluster.
A group of things.
A cluster of stars. A cluster of stars. Cluster around. Cluster around. Data cluster. Data cluster. Script.
Written text.
Write a script. Write a script. Ancient script. Ancient script. Film script. Film script. Infectious.
Able to spread disease.
Infectious disease. Infectious disease. Infectious laughter. Infectious laughter. Highly infectious. Highly infectious. Odor.
A particular smell.
Bad odor. Bad odor. Strong odor. Strong odor. Odor of smoke. Odor of smoke. Ample.
More than enough.
Ample time. Ample time. Ample evidence. Ample evidence. Ample space. Ample space. Ornamental.
Use for decoration.
Ornamental plant. Ornamental plant. Ornamental design. Ornamental design. Ornamental glass. Ornamental glass. Dullness.
Lack of interest.
Intellectual dullness. Intellectual dullness. Dullness of tone. Dullness of tone. Cultural dullness. Cultural dullness. Indication.
A sign or piece of information.
Clear indication. Clear indication. Indication of danger. Indication of danger. Give an indication. Give an indication. Certificate.
Official document.
Birth certificate. Birth certificate. Get a certificate. Get a certificate. Medical certificate. Medical certificate. Remembrance.
Act of remembering.
In remembrance of. In remembrance of. Day of remembrance. Day of remembrance. Fond remembrance. Fond remembrance. Jerk.
Sudden movement or rude person.
Jerk the handle. Jerk the handle. Total jerk. Total jerk. Jerk reaction. Jerk reaction. Orient.
To align or adjust.
Orient oneself. Orient oneself. Orient to the sun. Orient to the sun. Orient culture. Orient culture. Offspring.
Children or young of a person/animal.
Animal offspring. Animal offspring. Offspring of talent. Offspring of talent. Raise offspring. Raise offspring. Counterpart.
A person or thing that corresponds to another.
Japanese counterpart. Japanese counterpart. Business counterpart. Business counterpart. Talk to your counterpart. Talk to your counterpart. Documentary.
A factual film or report.
Watch a documentary. Watch a documentary. Documentary evidence. Documentary evidence. Documentary style. Documentary style. Scrape.
To rub harshly.
Scrape the surface. Scrape the surface. Scrape by. Scrape by. Scrape knees. Scrape knees. Dedicate.
To commit to a purpose.
Dedicate time. Dedicate time. Dedicate a book. Dedicate a book. Dedicate oneself. Dedicate oneself. Astronaut.
A person who travels in space.
Become an astronaut. Become an astronaut. Train as astronaut. Train as astronaut. Famous astronaut. Famous astronaut. Naughty.
Badly behaved.
Naughty child. Naughty child. Naughty behavior. Naughty behavior. Naughty joke. Naughty joke. Pregnancy.
The condition of being pregnant.
Early pregnancy. Early pregnancy. Pregnancy test. Pregnancy test. Unplanned pregnancy. Unplanned pregnancy. Comparable.
Able to be compared.
Comparable size. Comparable size. Comparable quality. Comparable quality. Not comparable. Not comparable. Haunt.
To disturb or appear repeatedly.
Haunt a house. Haunt a house. Haunted by guilt. Haunted by guilt. Haunted place. Haunted place. Trash.
Waste material.
Throw out trash. Throw out trash. Trash bin. Trash bin. Talk trash. Talk trash. Outskirt.
The outer parts of a town.
Live on the outskirt. Live on the outskirt. Outskirt of town. Outskirt of town. Rural outskirt. Rural outskirt. Valid.
Legally acceptable.
Valid reason. Valid reason. Valid passport. Valid passport. Remain valid. Remain valid. Mellow.
Soft or relaxed.
Mellow sound. Mellow sound. Mellow mood. Mellow mood. Mellow fruit. Mellow fruit. Paw.
Animal's foot.
Cat's paw. Cat's paw. Wipe paws. Wipe paws. Paw at the door. Paw at the door. Genetic.
Relating to genes.
Genetic disease. Genetic disease. Genetic code. Genetic code. Genetic research. Genetic research. Stimulus.
Something that provokes a reaction.
Economic stimulus. Economic stimulus. Stimulus to growth. Stimulus to growth. External stimulus. External stimulus. Spectacular.
Visually striking.
Spectacular show. Spectacular show. Spectacular failure. Spectacular failure. Spectacular view. Spectacular view. Villa.
Large country house.
Luxury villa. Luxury villa. Holiday villa. Holiday villa. Rent a villa. Rent a villa. Chilly.
Unpleasantly cold.
Chilly night. Chilly night. Feel chilly. Feel chilly. Chilly response. Chilly response. Crook.
A dishonest person, or to bend.
A common crook. A common crook. Crook the arm. Crook the arm. Crook in the road. Crook in the road. Costly.
Requiring much money or effort.
Costly mistake. Costly mistake. Costly investment. Costly investment. Costly goods. Costly goods. Coarse.
Rough or rude.
Coarse fabric. Coarse fabric. Coarse language. Coarse language. Coarse sand. Coarse sand. Accusation.
A claim someone did wrong.
False accusation. False accusation. Accusation of theft. Accusation of theft. Deny accusation. Deny accusation. Transaction.
An instance of buying or selling.
Financial transaction. Financial transaction. Recorded transaction. Recorded transaction. Online transaction. Online transaction. Stupidity.
Lack of intelligence.
Act of stupidity. Act of stupidity. Blame stupidity. Blame stupidity. Regret the stupidity. Regret the stupidity. Leak.
To escape or let out.
Water leak. Water leak. Leak information. Leak information. Gas leak. Gas leak. Tuck.
To put in securely.
Tuck in bed. Tuck in bed. Tuck a shirt. Tuck a shirt. Tuck hair behind ear. Tuck hair behind ear. Rack.
a frame or to torture.
Wine rack. Wine rack. Rack one's brain. Rack one's brain. Towel rack. Towel rack. Hesitation.
Pause before action.
Without hesitation. Without hesitation. Slight hesitation. Slight hesitation. Hesitation to speak. Hesitation to speak. Utility.
Useful function or service.
Utility bill. Utility bill. High utility. High utility. Utility company. Utility company. Furthermore.
Adding additional information.
Furthermore, he agreed. Furthermore, he agreed. Furthermore, it's important. Furthermore, it's important. Furthermore, they succeeded. Furthermore, they succeeded. Exclusive.
Restricted to a particular group.
Exclusive access to the club. Exclusive access to the club. Exclusive interview. Exclusive interview. Exclusive rights. Exclusive rights. Signify.
To be a sign or symbol of something.
A nod signifies agreement. A nod signifies agreement. Red signifies danger. Red signifies danger. Bells signify celebration. Bells signify celebration. Exclusively.
Only, not including any others.
Exclusively for members. Exclusively for members. Exclusively available online. Exclusively available online. Exclusively used by experts. Exclusively used by experts. Diversity.
A range of different things.
Cultural diversity. Cultural diversity. Diversity in opinions. Diversity in opinions. Biodiversity. Biodiversity. Vocal.
Relating to the voice.
Vocal cords. Vocal cords. Vocal supporter. Vocal supporter. Vocal performance. Vocal performance. Exceptional.
Unusually excellent.
Exceptional talent. Exceptional talent. Exceptional circumstances. Exceptional circumstances. Exceptional performance. Exceptional performance. Irresponsible.
Not showing proper sense of duty.
Irresponsible behavior. Irresponsible behavior. Irresponsible decision. Irresponsible decision. Irresponsible remarks. Irresponsible remarks. Distinctive.
characteristic of one person or thing.
Distinctive style. Distinctive style. Distinctive feature. Distinctive feature. Distinctive aroma. Distinctive aroma. Far away.
A great distance away.
Faraway lands. Faraway lands. Faraway look. Faraway look. Faraway place. Faraway place. Puff.
A short burst of air or smoke.
A puff of smoke. A puff of smoke. Puff of wind. Puff of wind. Puff pastry. Puff pastry. Sincerity.
The quality of being honest.
Sincerity in his words. Sincerity in his words. Genuine sincerity. Genuine sincerity. Questioned her sincerity. Questioned her sincerity. Vicious.
Deliberately cruel or violent.
Vicious attack. Vicious attack. Vicious cycle. Vicious cycle. Vicious rumor. Vicious rumor. Starvation.
Suffering from lack of food.
Death by starvation. Death by starvation. Starvation diet. Starvation diet. Starvation mode. Starvation mode. Stack.
A neat pile of objects.
Stack of books. Stack of books. Stack up. Stack up. Stack of papers. Stack of papers. Alongside.
Next to or together with.
Walked alongside her. Walked alongside her. Alongside the river. Alongside the river. Work alongside colleagues. Work alongside colleagues. Monopoly.
Complete control over a product or service.
Monopoly on trade. Monopoly on trade. Government monopoly. Government monopoly. Break the monopoly. Break the monopoly. Reckless.
Without thinking or caring about the consequences.
Reckless driving. Reckless driving. Reckless behavior. Reckless behavior. Reckless decision. Reckless decision. Retail.
The sale of goods to the public.
Retail store. Retail store. Retail price. Retail price. Work in retail. Work in retail. Utilize.
To make practical use of something.
Utilize resources. Utilize resources. Utilize technology. Utilize technology. Utilize time wisely. Utilize time wisely. Withdrawal.
The act of removing or retreating.
Bank withdrawal. Bank withdrawal. Military withdrawal. Military withdrawal. Withdrawal symptoms. Withdrawal symptoms. Disclose.
To make known or public.
Disclose information. Disclose information. Disclose identity. Disclose identity. Disclose a secret. Disclose a secret. Puppet.
A figure moved by strings or hands.
Puppet show. Puppet show. Political puppet. Political puppet. Puppet theater. Puppet theater. Provoke.
To stimulate or give rise to a reaction.
Provoke anger. Provoke anger. Provoke a response. Provoke a response. Provoke conflict. Provoke conflict. Stony.
Hard or unfeeling in nature.
Stony ground. Stony ground. Stony silence. Stony silence. Stony expression. Stony expression. Ethics.
Moral principles governing behavior.
Business ethics. Business ethics. Medical ethics. Medical ethics. Code of ethics. Code of ethics. Stoop.
To bend the body forward.
Stoop down. Stoop down. Stoop to pick up. Stoop to pick up. Stoop posture. Stoop posture. Regain.
To get back something lost.
Regain control. Regain control. Regain confidence. Regain confidence. Regain balance. Regain balance. Alley.
A narrow passage between buildings.
Dark alley. Dark alley. Back alley. Back alley. Alley cat. Alley cat. Ethnic.
Relating to cultural groups.
Ethnic food. Ethnic food. Ethnic conflict. Ethnic conflict. Ethnic group. Ethnic group. Shiver.
To shake slightly from cold or fear.
Shiver with cold. Shiver with cold. Shiver in fear. Shiver in fear. Feel a shiver. Feel a shiver. Inadequate.
Not good enough.
Inadequate resources. Inadequate resources. Inadequate explanation. Inadequate explanation. Inadequate support. Inadequate support. Fulfillment.
Realization of goals or satisfaction.
Sense of fulfillment. Sense of fulfillment. Career fulfillment. Career fulfillment. Fulfillment of promise. Fulfillment of promise. Garment.
An article of clothing.
Outer garment. Outer garment. Garment industry. Garment industry. Traditional garment. Traditional garment. Exploit.
To make full use of or take advantage.
Exploit resources. Exploit resources. Exploit workers. Exploit workers. Exploit opportunities. Exploit opportunities. Deliberately.
On purpose.
Deliberately ignore. Deliberately ignore. Deliberately delay. Deliberately delay. Deliberately hurt. Deliberately hurt. Feminist.
Advocate for women's rights.
Feminist movement. Feminist movement. Feminist theory. Feminist theory. Feminist writer. Feminist writer. Stump.
The base of a tree or confusing question.
Tree stump. Tree stump. Stump speech. Stump speech. Stump the expert. Stump the expert. Unfold.
To open or develop.
Unfold the map. Unfold the map. Unfold events. Unfold events. Unfold the truth. Unfold the truth. Dialogue.
Conversation between two or more people.
Dialogue between cultures. Dialogue between cultures. Dialogue in movies. Dialogue in movies. Political dialogue. Political dialogue. Vacant.
Not occupied.
Vacant seat. Vacant seat. Vacant house. Vacant house. Vacant position. Vacant position. Commodity.
A raw material or primary product.
Commodity market. Commodity market. Commodity prices. Commodity prices. Export commodity. Export commodity. Residential.
Related to housing.
Residential area. Residential area. Residential building. Residential building. Residential zone. Residential zone. Accountant.
A person who manages financial accounts.
Certified accountant. Certified accountant. Hire an accountant. Hire an accountant. Company accountant. Company accountant. Compel.
To force someone to do something.
Compel action. Compel action. Compel response. Compel response. Compel attention. Compel attention. Architectural.
Relating to architecture.
Architectural design. Architectural design. Architectural style. Architectural style. Architectural heritage. Architectural heritage. Inspection.
Careful examination.
Safety inspection. Safety inspection. Routine inspection. Routine inspection. Building inspection. Building inspection. Patent.
Legal right to invention.
File a patent. File a patent. Patent holder. Patent holder. Patent application. Patent application. Guarantee.
Promise or assurance.
Money back guarantee. Money back guarantee. Guarantee success. Guarantee success. Product guarantee. Product guarantee. Fluid.
Substance that flows easily.
Body fluid. Body fluid. Fluid movement. Fluid movement. Stay fluid. Stay fluid. Decent.
Socially acceptable or good.
Decent job. Decent job. Decent living conditions. Decent living conditions. Decent person. Decent person. Identical.
Exactly the same.
Identical twins. Identical twins. Identical results. Identical results. Identical in appearance. Identical in appearance. Revise.
To change or improve.
Revise a plan. Revise a plan. Revise a document. Revise a document. Revise notes. Revise notes. Proficient.
Skilled and experienced.
Proficient in English. Proficient in English. Proficient user. Proficient user. Proficient worker. Proficient worker. Rally.
A large public meeting.
Political rally. Political rally. Supporter rally. Supporter rally. Organize a rally. Organize a rally. Illegal.
Not allowed by law.
Illegal activity. Illegal activity. Illegal drugs. Illegal drugs. Illegal immigration. Illegal immigration. Accessible.
Easy to reach or use.
Accessible website. Accessible website. Wheelchair accessible. Wheelchair accessible. Easily accessible. Easily accessible. Penetrate.
To enter or pass through.
Penetrate the wall. Penetrate the wall. Penetrate the market. Penetrate the market. Penetrate darkness. Penetrate darkness. Accommodate.
To provide space or adapt.
Accommodate guests. Accommodate guests. Accommodate needs. Accommodate needs. Accommodate changes. Accommodate changes. Peck.
To strike lightly or kiss quickly.
Peck on the cheek. Peck on the cheek. Birds pecking. Birds pecking. Peck at food. Peck at food. Spacecraft.
A vehicle used for space travel.
Launch a spacecraft. Launch a spacecraft. Control a spacecraft. Control a spacecraft. Manned spacecraft. Manned spacecraft. Considerably.
By a large amount.
Considerably better. Considerably better. Considerably faster. Considerably faster. Considerably cheaper. Considerably cheaper. Stray.
To move away from the group.
Stray dog. Stray dog. Stray bullet. Stray bullet. Stray from the path. Stray from the path. Resemblance.
Likeness or similarity.
Family resemblance. Family resemblance. Bear a resemblance. Bear a resemblance. Strong resemblance. Strong resemblance. Institutional.
Related to institutions.
Institutional reform. Institutional reform. Institutional policy. Institutional policy. Institutional support. Institutional support. Plague.
A widespread disease or to trouble.
Plague outbreak. Plague outbreak. Plagued by doubts. Plagued by doubts. Bubonic plague. Bubonic plague. Glimpse.
A quick look.
Catch a glimpse. Catch a glimpse. Glimpse of hope. Glimpse of hope. Glimpse outside. Glimpse outside. Fuss.
Unnecessary activity or worry.
Make a fuss. Make a fuss. Fuss over details. Fuss over details. Without fuss. Without fuss. Inception.
The start of something.
Since its inception. Since its inception. From the inception. From the inception. Inception of the project. Inception of the project. Insert.
To put into something.
Insert a coin. Insert a coin. Insert into text. Insert into text. Insert a comment. Insert a comment. Pretense.
A false show or claim.
Under the pretense of. Under the pretense of. Make a pretense. Make a pretense. Without pretense. Without pretense. Sheer.
Complete or very thin.
Sheer luck. Sheer luck. Sheer fabric. Sheer fabric. Sheer cliff. Sheer cliff. Coordinate.
To arrange in order.
Coordinate efforts. Coordinate efforts. Coordinate plans. Coordinate plans. Coordinate colors. Coordinate colors. Checkup.
A medical examination.
Annual checkup. Annual checkup. Go for a checkup. Go for a checkup. Routine checkup. Routine checkup. Applaud.
To clap or show approval.
Applaud the speaker. Applaud the speaker. Applaud efforts. Applaud efforts. Audience applauded. Audience applauded. Ethical.
Morally right.
Ethical decision. Ethical decision. Ethical issues. Ethical issues. Act ethically. Act ethically. Shady.
Suspicious or shadowy.
Shady business. Shady business. Shady area. Shady area. Shady character. Shady character. Preservation.
Keeping something safe.
Preservation of nature. Preservation of nature. Food preservation. Food preservation. Historic preservation. Historic preservation. Rust.
Corrosion of metal.
Rest on the car. Rest on the car. Rusty tools. Rusty tools. Prevent rust. Prevent rust. Flexibility.
Ability to bend or adapt.
Flexibility in schedule. Flexibility in schedule. Improve flexibility. Improve flexibility. Mental flexibility. Mental flexibility. Virgin.
Unspoiled or inexperienced.
Virgin forest. Virgin forest. Virgin olive oil. Virgin olive oil. Virgin land. Virgin land. Clause.
Part of a sentence or legal document.
Grammar clause. Grammar clause. Contract clause. Contract clause. Add a clause. Add a clause. Transmit.
To send or pass on.
Transmit data. Transmit data. Transmit a signal. Transmit a signal. Transmit disease. Transmit disease. Denial.
Refusal to accept.
Denial of truth. Denial of truth. Flat denial. Flat denial. In denial. In denial. Nobleman.
A man of noble rank.
Medieval nobleman. Medieval nobleman. Landowning nobleman. Landowning nobleman. Wealthy nobleman. Wealthy nobleman. Stale.
Not fresh.
Stale bread. Stale bread. Stale air. Stale air. Stale joke. Stale joke. Depressed.
Feeling very sad.
Feel depressed. Feel depressed. Clinically depressed. Clinically depressed. Depressed mood. Depressed mood. Quest.
A long or difficult search.
Quest for knowledge. Quest for knowledge. Hero's quest. Hero's quest. Lifelong quest. Lifelong quest. Overthrow.
To remove from power.
Overthrow the government. Overthrow the government. Overthrow the regime. Overthrow the regime. Attempted overthrow. Attempted overthrow. Excursion.
A short journey or outing.
Weekend excursion. Weekend excursion. School excursion. School excursion. Excursion to the mountains. Excursion to the mountains. Fragment.
A small part broken off.
Broken fragment. Broken fragment. Glass fragment. Glass fragment. Fragment of memory. Fragment of memory. Watchdog.
A person or group that monitors.
Government watchdog. Government watchdog. Act as a watchdog. Act as a watchdog. Watchdog organization. Watchdog organization. Bald.
Lacking hair.
Bald head. Bald head. Go bald. Go bald. Completely bald. Completely bald. Mutter.
To speak quietly and unclearly.
Mutter to oneself. Mutter to oneself. Mutter something. Mutter something. Mutter angrily. Mutter angrily. Ridge.
A long, narrow hilltop.
Mountain ridge. Mountain ridge. Walk along the ridge. Walk along the ridge. Snow-covered ridge. Snow-covered ridge. Adjective.
A word that describes a noun.
Descriptive adjective. Descriptive adjective. Use an adjective. Use an adjective. Common adjectives. Common adjectives. Classify.
To arrange into categories.
Classify documents. Classify documents. Classify species. Classify species. Classify information. Classify information. Labyrinth.
A complex network of paths.
Ancient labyrinth. Ancient labyrinth. Labyrinth of tunnels. Labyrinth of tunnels. Mental labyrinth. Mental labyrinth. Cooperate.
To work together.
Cooperate with others. Cooperate with others. Refuse to cooperate. Refuse to cooperate. Fully cooperate. Fully cooperate. Sober.
Not drunk, serious.
Stay sober. Stay sober. Sober expression. Sober expression. Sober thoughts. Sober thoughts. Frustrate.
To make someone annoyed.
Frustrate plans. Frustrate plans. Feel frustrated. Feel frustrated. Frustrate attempts. Frustrate attempts. Envious.
Feeling of wanting what others have.
Envious of success. Envious of success. Envious look. Envious look. Become envious. Become envious. Cooperative.
Willing to help.
Cooperative attitude. Cooperative attitude. Be cooperative. Be cooperative. Cooperative work. Cooperative work. Donation.
Something given for a cause.
Make a donation. Make a donation. Charity donation. Charity donation. Blood donation. Blood donation. Overwhelm.
To overpower emotionally or physically.
Overwhelm with emotion. Overwhelm with emotion. Overwhelmed by work. Overwhelmed by work. Overwhelm the enemy. Overwhelm the enemy. Structural.
Relating to structure.
Structural damage. Structural damage. Structural design. Structural design. Structural change. Structural change. Librarian.
Person managing a library.
Ask the librarian. Ask the librarian. School librarian. School librarian. Librarian assistance. Librarian assistance. Rigid.
Stiff or strict.
Rigid rules. Rigid rules. Rigid material. Rigid material. Rigid mindset. Rigid mindset. Authorize.
To give permission.
Authorize access. Authorize access. Legally authorized. Legally authorized. Authorize payment. Authorize payment. Marvel.
To be filled with wonder.
Marvel at nature. Marvel at nature. Modern marvel. Modern marvel. Marvel of technology. Marvel of technology. Fling.
To throw something forcefully.
Fling the door open. Fling the door open. Fling away. Fling away. Fling one's arms. Fling one's arms. Transmission.
The act of sending something.
Transmission of data. Transmission of data. Transmission system. Transmission system. Disease transmission. Disease transmission. Peep.
To look quickly and secretly.
Peep through the door. Peep through the door. Peep at the paper. Peep at the paper. Take a peep. Take a peep. Endeavor.
An attempt to do something.
Scientific endeavor. Scientific endeavor. Endeavor to improve. Endeavor to improve. Lifelong endeavor. Lifelong endeavor. Physicist.
A scientist in physics.
Famous physicist. Famous physicist. Nuclear physicist. Nuclear physicist. Theoretical physicist. Theoretical physicist. Immature.
Not fully developed.
Immature behavior. Immature behavior. Immature fruit. Immature fruit. Emotionally immature. Emotionally immature. Outbreak.
Sudden start of something unwelcome.
Disease outbreak. Disease outbreak. Outbreak of war. Outbreak of war. Outbreak of violence. Outbreak of violence. Manuscript.
A handwritten or typed document.
Submit a manuscript. Submit a manuscript. Edit the manuscript. Edit the manuscript. Ancient manuscript. Ancient manuscript. Stagger.
To walk unsteadily.
Stagger backward. Stagger backward. Drunken stagger. Drunken stagger. Stagger from shock. Stagger from shock. Slam.
To close with force.
Slam the door. Slam the door. Slam the brakes. Slam the brakes. Slam the book shut. Slam the book shut. Banish.
To send someone away.
Banish from the kingdom. Banish from the kingdom. Banish bad thoughts. Banish bad thoughts. Banish forever. Banish forever. Swamp.
Wetland or overwhelm.
Swamp with work. Swamp with work. Drain the swamp. Drain the swamp. Swamp area. Swamp area. Capability.
The power or skill to do something.
Capability of learning. Capability of learning. Military capability. Military capability. Demonstrate capability. Demonstrate capability. Molecule.
Smallest unit of a chemical compound.
Water molecule. Water molecule. Molecular structure. Molecular structure. Break a molecule. Break a molecule. Participation.
Taking part in something.
Active participation. Active participation. Participation in events. Participation in events. Encourage participation. Encourage participation. faculty,
Teaching staff for ability.
faculty members, faculty members. Science faculty, science faculty. Mental faculties, mental faculties. Courtesy,
Polite behavior.
common courtesy, common courtesy. Show courtesy, show courtesy. Out of courtesy, out of courtesy. Midst,
The middle part.
in the midst of chaos, in the midst of chaos. In their midst, in their midst. Amidst confusion, amidst confusion. Resent,
To feel angry about something unfair.
resent criticism, resent criticism. Resent being ignored, resent being ignored. Resent the remark, resent the remark. Undo,
To reverse an action.
undo changes, undo changes. Undo a button, undo a button. Undo the damage, undo the damage. Lad,
A young boy.
a brave lad, a brave lad. Young lad, young lad. Poor lad, poor lad. Loosen,
To make less tight.
loosen the tie, loosen the tie. Loosen the grip, loosen the grip. Loosen control, loosen control. Riddle,
A confusing question.
solve a riddle, solve a riddle. Ancient riddle, ancient riddle. Riddle with no answer, riddle with no answer. Corruption,
Dishonest behavior.
political corruption, political corruption. Fight corruption, fight corruption. Widespread corruption, widespread corruption. Extract,
To take out.
extract juice, extract juice. Extract information, extract information. Vanilla extract, vanilla extract. Unconscious,
Not aware.
unconscious mind, unconscious mind. Fall unconscious, fall unconscious. Lie unconscious, lie unconscious. Rebuild,
To build again.
rebuild a house, rebuild a house. Rebuild the economy, rebuild the economy. Rebuild trust, Rebuild trust. Curse.
A wish of bad luck.
Place a curse. Place a curse. Curse loudly. Curse loudly. Break the curse. Break the curse. Prominence.
Being important or famous.
Rise to prominence. Rise to prominence. Gain prominence. Gain prominence. International prominence. International prominence. Fable.
A short moral story.
Aesop's fable. Aesop's fable. Moral fable. Moral fable. Old fable. Old fable. Bribe.
Money to influence behavior.
Take a bribe. Take a bribe. Offer a bribe. Offer a bribe. Bribe officials. Bribe officials. Untidy.
Not neat.
Untidy room. Untidy room. Untidy handwriting. Untidy handwriting. Look untidy. Look untidy. Transparent.
See-through or open.
Transparent glass. Transparent glass. Transparent process. Transparent process. Transparent clothing. Transparent clothing. Almighty.
Having all power.
Almighty God. Almighty God. Almighty power. Almighty power. Almighty being. Almighty being. Successor.
A person who follows another.
Appoint a successor. Appoint a successor. Successor to the throne. Successor to the throne. Successor of the CEO. Successor of the CEO. Hence.
For this reason.
Hence the result. Hence the result. Hence the decision. Hence the decision. Hence the need. Hence the need. Dizzy.
Feeling unbalanced.
Feel dizzy. Feel dizzy. Dizzy spell. Dizzy spell. Make you dizzy. Make you dizzy. Stool.
A small cedar waist.
Wooden stool. Wooden stool. Bar stool. Bar stool. Medical stool sample. Medical stool sample. Mislead.
To give false information.
Mislead the public. Mislead the public. Misleading statement. Misleading statement. Be misled. Be misled. Adverb.
A word that modifies verbs.
Use an adverb. Use an adverb. Common adverbs. Common adverbs. Adverb of manner. Adverb of manner. Corrupt.
Morally decayed or dishonest.
Corrupt officials. Corrupt officials. Corrupt society. Corrupt society. Power can corrupt. Power can corrupt. Transformation.
A thorough or dramatic change.
Economic transformation. Economic transformation. Undergo a transformation. Undergo a transformation. Social transformation. Social transformation. Immortal.
Living forever.
Immortal soul. Immortal soul. Immortal fame. Immortal fame. Become immortal. Become immortal. Gem.
A precious stone.
Shiny gem. Shiny gem. Rare gem. Rare gem. Hidden gem. Hidden gem. Mine.
A place to extract minerals.
Gold mine. Gold mine. Mine resources. Mine resources. Abandoned mine. Abandoned mine. Pension.
A regular payment after retirement.
Receive a pension. Receive a pension. State pension. State pension. Pension plan. Pension plan. Comprehend.
To grasp mentally.
Comprehend the meaning. Comprehend the meaning. Comprehend fully. Comprehend fully. Difficult to comprehend. Difficult to comprehend. Wrinkle.
A small line on the skin or fabric.
Facial wrinkles. Facial wrinkles. Iron out wrinkles. Iron out wrinkles. Develop wrinkles. Develop wrinkles. Timid.
Lacking courage.
Timid voice. Timid voice. Feel timid. Feel timid. Too timid to speak. Too timid to speak. Examiner.
A person who inspects or tests.
Driving examiner. Driving examiner. Medical examiner. Medical examiner. Official examiner. Official examiner. Buzz.
A low continuous sound or excitement.
Buzz of excitement. Buzz of excitement. Buzz in the air. Buzz in the air. Buzzing sound. Buzzing sound. Infinite.
Without limit.
Infinite space. Infinite space. Infinite possibilities. Infinite possibilities. Infinite patience. Infinite patience. Eternally.
Forever or always.
Eternally grateful. Eternally grateful. Eternally loved. Eternally loved. Eternally damned. Eternally damned. Beak.
The hard, pointed mouth of a bird.
Bird's beak. Bird's beak. Sharp beak. Sharp beak. Peck with beak. Peck with beak. Muddy.
Covered in or full of mud.
Muddy road. Muddy road. Muddy shoes. Muddy shoes. Get muddy. Get muddy. Idiom.
A phrase with a meaning different from its words.
English idiom. English idiom. Common idiom. Common idiom. Learn idioms. Learn idioms. Interruption.
Stopping something temporarily.
Brief interruption. Brief interruption. Constant interruptions. Constant interruptions. Apologize for the interruption. Apologize for the interruption. Syllable.
A unit of sound in a word.
One syllable word. One syllable word. Count syllables. Count syllables. Stress the first syllable. Stress the first syllable. Revolve.
To move in a circle around something.
Revolve around the sun. Revolve around the sun. Revolving door. Revolving door. Revolve slowly. Revolve slowly. Premise.
An idea accepted as true.
Basic premise. Basic premise. False premise. False premise. Premise of the argument. Premise of the argument. Controversy.
A public disagreement.
Cause controversy. Cause controversy. Political controversy. Political controversy. Stir up controversy. Stir up controversy. Delicately.
In a sensitive or careful way.
Delicately handle. Delicately handle. Delicately flavored. Delicately flavored. Delicately balanced. Delicately balanced. Accumulate.
To collect or gather.
Accumulate wealth. Accumulate wealth. Dust accumulated. Dust accumulated. Accumulate data. Accumulate data. Intellect.
The ability to think and understand.
Sharp intellect. Sharp intellect. Great intellect. Great intellect. Human intellect. Human intellect. Conception.
The forming of an idea or beginning of pregnancy.
Conception of freedom. Conception of freedom. Original conception. Original conception. Since conception. Since conception. Rainfall.
The amount of rain.
Annual rainfall. Annual rainfall. Heavy rainfall. Heavy rainfall. Rainfall in July. Rainfall in July. Framework.
A basic structure.
Legal framework. Legal framework. Within the framework. Within the framework. Framework of ideas. Framework of ideas. Realm.
An area of interest or activity.
Realm of science. Realm of science. Fantasy realm. Fantasy realm. Political realm. Political realm. Convict.
To find guilty, or a person found guilty.
Convicted of theft. Convicted of theft. A prison convict. A prison convict. Convict the criminal. Convict the criminal. Trivial.
Of little value or importance.
Trivial matters. Trivial matters. Seem trivial. Seem trivial. Trivial problem. Trivial problem. Solemnly.
In a serious and dignified manner.
Solemnly swear. Solemnly swear. Solemnly declare. Solemnly declare. Solemnly promise. Solemnly promise. Oval.
Egg-shaped.
Oval face. Oval face. Oval table. Oval table. Draw an oval. Draw an oval. Orthodox.
Following traditional rules.
Orthodox beliefs. Orthodox beliefs. Orthodox view. Orthodox view. Orthodox medicine. Orthodox medicine. Vowel.
A speech sound made without closing the mouth.
Vowel sound. Vowel sound. Long vowel. Long vowel. List of vowels. List of vowels. Mold.
A fungus or a shape/form.
Bread mold. Bread mold. Plastic mold. Plastic mold. Mold the clay. Mold the clay. Exaggeration.
Making something seem more than it is.
Obvious exaggeration. Obvious exaggeration. Comic exaggeration. Comic exaggeration. Exaggeration for effect. Exaggeration for effect. Render.
To cause or give.
Render help. Render help. Render useless. Render useless. Render a decision. Render a decision. Nomination.
The act of choosing someone for a position.
Oscar nomination. Oscar nomination. Political nomination. Political nomination. Accept a nomination. Accept a nomination. Warrant.
A legal paper or justification.
Search warrant. Search warrant. No warrant for arrest. No warrant for arrest. Warrant action. Warrant action. Maiden.
A young unmarried woman or first.
Maiden voyage. Maiden voyage. Maiden name. Maiden name. Maiden speech. Maiden speech. Continental.
Relating to a continent.
Continental climate. Continental climate. Continental breakfast. Continental breakfast. Continental Europe. Continental Europe. Murderer.
A person who commits murder.
Convicted murderer. Convicted murderer. Serial murderer. Serial murderer. Capture the murderer. Capture the murderer. Penniless.
Having no money.
Become penniless. Become penniless. Penniless man. Penniless man. Live penniless. Live penniless. Grammatical.
Relating to grammar.
Grammatical error. Grammatical error. Grammatical structure. Grammatical structure. Grammatical correctness. Grammatical correctness. Reassure.
To restore confidence.
Reassure the child. Reassure the child. Reassure customers. Reassure customers. Reassure with words. Reassure with words. Paradox.
A self-contradictory statement.
Strange paradox. Strange paradox. Logical paradox. Logical paradox. Paradox of choice. Paradox of choice. Hymn.
A religious song.
Sing a hymn. Sing a hymn. Church hymn. Church hymn. Famous hymn. Famous hymn. Dimension.
A measurable extent or aspect.
3 dimensions. 3 dimensions. New dimension. New dimension. Large dimension. Large dimension. Utmost.
Greatest in degree or amount.
Utmost care. Utmost care. With the utmost respect. With the utmost respect. Do your utmost. Do your utmost. Ascent.
The act of rising or climbing.
Rapid ascent. Rapid ascent. Ascent of a mountain. Ascent of a mountain. Make an ascent. Make an ascent. Canyon.
A deep valley with steep sides.
Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon. Deep canyon. Deep canyon. Hike through a canyon. Hike through a canyon. Defy.
To openly resist.
Defy authority. Defy authority. Defy expectations. Defy expectations. Defy the rules. Defy the rules. Prick.
To make a small hole.
Prick a finger. Prick a finger. Feel a prick. Feel a prick. Prick the balloon. Prick the balloon. Brilliance.
Exceptional brightness or talent.
Brilliance of the stars. Brilliance of the stars. Display brilliance. Display brilliance. Brilliance of performance. Brilliance of performance. Sympathize.
To feel compassion.
Sympathize with victims. Sympathize with victims. Hard to sympathize. Hard to sympathize. Sympathize deeply. Sympathize deeply. Precaution.
An action to prevent harm.
Take precautions. Take precautions. As a precaution. As a precaution. Basic precaution. Basic precaution. Treasury.
Government department handling money.
U.S. Treasury. U.S. Treasury. Treasury bonds. Treasury bonds. National Treasury. National Treasury. Betrayal.
An act of disloyalty.
Feel betrayal. Feel betrayal. Betrayal of trust. Betrayal of trust. Ultimate betrayal. Ultimate betrayal. Roam.
To move aimlessly.
Roam the streets. Roam the streets. Roam freely. Roam freely. Roam the countryside. Roam the countryside. Fortnight.
A period of 2 weeks.
In a fortnight. In a fortnight. Last a fortnight. Last a fortnight. Stay for a fortnight. Stay for a fortnight. Stillness.
Absence of movement or sound.
Complete stillness. Complete stillness. Enjoy the stillness. Enjoy the stillness. In the stillness of night. In the stillness of night. Savage.
Fierce or uncivilized.
Savage attack. Savage attack. Savage behavior. Savage behavior. A savage beast. A savage beast. Torture.
Severe pain for punishment or coercion.
Physical torture. Physical torture. Torture victims. Torture victims. Mentally tortured. Mentally tortured. Narrative.
A spoken or written account.
Personal narrative. Personal narrative. Narrative style. Narrative style. Construct a narrative. Construct a narrative. Scorn.
Strong lack of respect.
Look with scorn. Look with scorn. Treat with scorn. Treat with scorn. Face public scorn. Face public scorn. Orphan.
A child without parents.
Orphan boy. Orphan boy. Adopt an orphan. Adopt an orphan. Orphanage home. Orphanage home. Stability.
The state of being stable.
Political stability. Political stability. Stable job. Stable job. Financial stability. Financial stability. Bacteria.
Microscopic living organisms.
Harmful bacteria. Harmful bacteria. Kill bacteria. Kill bacteria. Bacteria growth. Bacteria growth. Parliamentary.
Relating to Parliament.
Parliamentary system. Parliamentary system. Parliamentary debate. Parliamentary debate. Parliamentary member. Parliamentary member. Qualification.
A skill or quality needed.
Academic qualification. Academic qualification. Meet the qualifications. Meet the qualifications. Job qualification. Job qualification. Ape.
A large primate.
Chimpanzee is an ape. Chimpanzee is an ape. Wild apes. Wild apes. Ape behavior. Ape behavior. Tenderness.
Gentle affection or pain.
Show tenderness. Show tenderness. Feel tenderness. Feel tenderness. Tenderness in the arm. Tenderness in the arm. Moderately.
To a limited extent.
Moderately priced. Moderately priced. Moderately successful. Moderately successful. Drink moderately. Drink moderately. Jolly.
Happy and lively.
Jolly man. Jolly man. Jolly laugh. Jolly laugh. Feel jolly. Feel jolly. Persist.
To continue firmly.
Persist in efforts. Persist in efforts. Pain persisted. Pain persisted. Persist despite obstacles. Persist despite obstacles. Foster.
To encourage or care for.
Foster growth. Foster growth. Foster a child. Foster a child. Foster innovation. Foster innovation. Herb.
A plant used for flavor or medicine.
Medicinal herb. Medicinal herb. Fresh herbs. Fresh herbs. Grow herbs. Grow herbs. Nausea.
Feeling of needing to vomit.
Feel nausea. Feel nausea. Nausea after eating. Nausea after eating. Cause nausea. Cause nausea. Fossil.
Preserved remains of ancient life.
Dinosaur fossil. Dinosaur fossil. Find a fossil. Find a fossil. Fossil fuels. Fossil fuels. Earnestly.
With sincere intention.
Speak earnestly. Speak earnestly. Earnestly hope. Earnestly hope. Earnestly request. Earnestly request. Violation.
Breaking a rule or law.
Traffic violation. Traffic violation. Violation of rights. Violation of rights. Report a violation. Report a violation. Initiate.
To begin or launch.
Initiate a project. Initiate a project. Initiate contact. Initiate contact. Initiate reform. Initiate reform. Cartoon.
A humorous drawing or animated show.
Watch cartoons. Watch cartoons. Funny cartoon. Funny cartoon. Political cartoon. Political cartoon. Feeble.
Lacking strength.
Feeble attempt. Feeble attempt. Feeble old man. Feeble old man. Feeble excuse. Feeble excuse. Compulsory.
Required by rule.
Compulsory education. Compulsory education. Compulsory attendance. Compulsory attendance. Compulsory subject. Compulsory subject. Nuisance.
Something causing trouble or annoyance.
Noise nuisance. Noise nuisance. Be a nuisance. Be a nuisance. Constant nuisance. Constant nuisance. Disturbance.
Interference or disorder.
Minor disturbance. Minor disturbance. Cause a disturbance. Cause a disturbance. Public disturbance. Public disturbance. Reside.
To live in a place.
Reside in Japan. Reside in Japan. Where do you reside? Where do you reside? Reside permanently. Reside permanently. Vigorous.
Strong and energetic.
Vigorous exercise. Vigorous exercise. Vigorous growth. Vigorous growth. Vigorous debate. Vigorous debate. Contentment.
A state of happiness and satisfaction.
Feel contentment. Feel contentment. Peaceful contentment. Peaceful contentment. True contentment. True contentment. Digestion.
The process of breaking down food.
Aid digestion. Aid digestion. Good digestion. Good digestion. Digestive system. Digestive system. Irritating.
Causing annoyance.
Irritating noise. Irritating noise. Irritating habit. Irritating habit. Find it irritating. Find it irritating. Hospitality.
Friendly treatment of guests.
Show hospitality. Show hospitality. Warm hospitality. Warm hospitality. Enjoy local hospitality. Enjoy local hospitality. Owing.
Yet to be paid or returned.
Owing money. Owing money. Owing to the delay. Owing to the delay. Amount owing. Amount owing. Astronomy.
The study of stars and planets.
Study astronomy. Study astronomy. Astronomy class. Astronomy class. Modern astronomy. Modern astronomy. Electron.
A negatively charged particle.
Electron microscope. Electron microscope. Electron cloud. Electron cloud. Flow of electrons. Flow of electrons. Tremble.
To shake involuntarily.
Tremble with fear. Tremble with fear. Hands tremble. Hands tremble. Tremble slightly. Tremble slightly. Lest.
For fear that.
Take care lest you fall. Take care lest you fall. Lest we forget. Lest we forget. Speak softly lest she hear. Speak softly lest she hear. Imprison.
To confine in prison.
Imprison the criminal. Imprison the criminal. Wrongly imprisoned. Wrongly imprisoned. Imprison for life. Imprison for life. Cemetery.
A place where people are buried.
Visit the cemetery. Visit the cemetery. Old cemetery. Old cemetery. Cemetery gate. Cemetery gate. Blot.
A spot or mark.
Ink blot. Ink blot. Blot the paper. Blot the paper. A blot on the record. A blot on the record. Nutrition.
The process of providing food.
Good nutrition. Good nutrition. Nutrition facts. Nutrition facts. Nutrition is essential. Nutrition is essential. Graze.
To feed on grass or scrape.
Cattle graze. Cattle graze. Graze a knee. Graze a knee. Grazing animals. Grazing animals. Gasp.
To inhale suddenly.
Gasp for air. Gasp for air. Gasp in shock. Gasp in shock. Gasp loudly. Gasp loudly. Revolt.
To rebel or show disgust.
Lead a revolt. Lead a revolt. Revolt against injustice. Revolt against injustice. Feel revolt. Feel revolt. Slavery.
State of being a slave.
Abolish slavery. Abolish slavery. Modern slavery. Modern slavery. Slavery in history. Slavery in history. Strife.
Bitter or violent conflict.
Civil strife. Civil strife. Religious strife. Religious strife. End the strife. End the strife. Fraction.
A part or fragment.
A small fraction. A small fraction. Mathematical fraction. Mathematical fraction. Tiny fraction. Tiny fraction. Peril.
Serious and immediate danger.
Great peril. Great peril. At your peril. At your peril. Face peril. Face peril. Reap.
To gather or obtain.
Reap benefits. Reap benefits. Reap what you sow. Reap what you sow. Reap a reward. Reap a reward. Intermediate.
Between two stages.
Intermediate level. Intermediate level. Intermediate step. Intermediate step. Intermediate student. Intermediate student. Divine.
Of or like a god.
Divine power. Divine power. Divine beauty. Divine beauty. Divine message. Divine message. Second hand.
Not new, received indirectly.
Second hand clothes. Second hand clothes. Second hand smoke. Second hand smoke. By second hand. By second hand. Bleach.
To make white.
Bleach the shirt. Bleach the shirt. Use bleach. Use bleach. Hair bleach. Hair bleach. Administrator.
Person who manages.
System administrator. System administrator. School administrator. School administrator. Network administrator. Network administrator. Mingle.
To mix or socialize.
Mingle with guests. Mingle with guests. Smells mingled. Smells mingled. Mingle freely. Mingle freely. Seaweed.
Marine plant.
Eat seaweed. Eat seaweed. Seaweed salad. Seaweed salad. Dry seaweed. Dry seaweed. Admirable.
Deserving respect.
Admirable effort. Admirable effort. Admirable behavior. Admirable behavior. Truly admirable. Truly admirable. Folly.
Lack of good sense.
Act of folly. Act of folly. Regret your folly. Regret your folly. Youthful folly. Youthful folly. Purity.
State of being pure.
Water purity. Water purity. Moral purity. Moral purity. Symbol of purity. Symbol of purity. Habitual.
Done regularly or repeatedly.
Habitual offender. Habitual offender. Habitual behavior. Habitual behavior. Habitual smoking. Habitual smoking. Lasting.
Continuing for a long time.
Lasting impression. Lasting impression. Lasting peace. Lasting peace. Create lasting change. Create lasting change. Broom.
A tool for sweeping.
Sweep with a broom. Sweep with a broom. Broom closet. Broom closet. Wooden broom. Wooden broom. Dreadful.
Causing fear or suffering.
Dreadful news. Dreadful news. Dreadful mistake. Dreadful mistake. Feel dreadful. Feel dreadful. Manly.
Having qualities traditionally associated with men.
Manly courage. Manly courage. Act manly. Act manly. Manly appearance. Manly appearance. Salute.
To show respect by a gesture.
Salute the flag. Salute the flag. Soldiers salute. Soldiers salute. Give a salute. Give a salute. Lodging.
A place to stay.
Seek lodging. Seek lodging. Provide lodging. Provide lodging. Temporary lodging. Temporary lodging. Reign.
The period a ruler governs.
Reign of a king. Reign of a king. Long reign. Long reign. Reign over the land. Reign over the land. Vitality.
The state of being strong and active.
Full of vitality. Full of vitality. Lose vitality. Lose vitality. Youthful vitality. Youthful vitality. Inclination.
A preference or tendency.
Natural inclination. Natural inclination. Inclination to help. Inclination to help. Slight inclination. Slight inclination. Obscure.
Not clear or well known.
Obscure meaning. Obscure meaning. Obscure village. Obscure village. Obscure the truth. Obscure the truth. Insistent.
Demanding attention firmly.
Insistent voice. Insistent voice. Be insistent. Be insistent. Insistent demand. Insistent demand. Inflict.
To cause pain or damage.
Inflict damage. Inflict damage. Inflict punishment. Inflict punishment. Inflict injury. Inflict injury. Objection.
An expression of disapproval.
Raise an objection. Raise an objection. No objection. No objection. Objection to the plan. Objection to the plan. Gratitude.
The quality of being thankful.
Show gratitude. Show gratitude. Deep gratitude. Deep gratitude. Express gratitude. Express gratitude. Cordial.
Warm and sincere.
Cordial greeting. Cordial greeting. Cordial invitation. Cordial invitation. Cordial relationship. Cordial relationship. Persuasion.
The act of convincing.
Use persuasion. Use persuasion. Power of persuasion. Power of persuasion. Effective persuasion. Effective persuasion. Expressive.
Showing thoughts or feelings.
Expressive eyes. Expressive eyes. Highly expressive. Highly expressive. Expressive gesture. Expressive gesture. Sanitary.
Clean and healthy.
Sanitary conditions. Sanitary conditions. Sanitary products. Sanitary products. Keep it sanitary. Keep it sanitary. Trifle.
Something of little importance.
A mere trifle. A mere trifle. Don't worry over trifles. Don't worry over trifles. Trifle with someone. Trifle with someone. Intact.
Not harmed or broken.
Remain intact. Remain intact. Perfectly intact. Perfectly intact. Keep it intact. Keep it intact. Diploma.
A document certifying completion.
Receive a diploma. Receive a diploma. High school diploma. High school diploma. Diploma program. Diploma program. Dogmatic.
Asserting opinions, strongly.
Dogmatic belief. Dogmatic belief. Dogmatic tone. Dogmatic tone. Sound dogmatic. Sound dogmatic. Belly button.
The small hollow on your stomach.
Touch your belly button. Touch your belly button. Belly button ring. Belly button ring. Clean your belly button. Clean your belly button. Patriot.
One who loves their country.
True patriot. True patriot. Be a patriot. Be a patriot. Patriot's pride. Patriot's pride. Comrade.
A fellow companion.
Military comrade. Military comrade. Old comrade. Old comrade. Comrades in arms. Comrades in arms. Resistant.
Able to resist.
Water resistant. Water resistant. Resistant to change. Resistant to change. Heat resistant glass. Heat resistant glass. Witty.
Clever and humorous.
Witty comment. Witty comment. Witty writer. Witty writer. Be witty. Be witty. Doctrine.
A set of beliefs.
Religious doctrine. Religious doctrine. Doctrine of equality. Doctrine of equality. Follow the doctrine. Follow the doctrine. Threshold.
Point of entry or beginning.
Cross the threshold. Cross the threshold. On the threshold of change. On the threshold of change. Pain threshold. Pain threshold. Pulse.
Rhythmic beat of the heart.
Check your pulse. Check your pulse. Rapid pulse. Rapid pulse. Pulse rate. Pulse rate. Testify.
To give evidence.
Testify in court. Testify in court. Testify against him. Testify against him. Witnesses testify. Witnesses testify. Utterance.
Something spoken.
Strange utterance. Strange utterance. Utterance of truth. Utterance of truth. First utterance. First utterance. Improper.
Not suitable.
Improper behavior. Improper behavior. Improper use. Improper use. Morally improper. Morally improper. Pastor.
Leader of a church.
Local pastor. Local pastor. Pastor's sermon. Pastor's sermon. Ordain a pastor. Ordain a pastor. Seasoning.
Substance to add flavor.
Add seasoning. Add seasoning. Salt seasoning. Salt seasoning. Tasty seasoning. Tasty seasoning. Lieutenant.
Military rank below captain.
Army lieutenant. Army lieutenant. Lieutenant rank. Lieutenant rank. Serve as lieutenant. Serve as lieutenant. Blunt.
Not sharp or direct.
Blunt knife. Blunt knife. Blunt answer. Blunt answer. Blunt object. Blunt object. Weird.
Unusual or strange.
Weird feeling. Weird feeling. Act weird. Act weird. Weird noise. Weird noise. Crude.
Unprocessed or rough.
Crude oil. Crude oil. Crude language. Crude language. Crude tool. Crude tool. Have.
To divide into two equal parts.
Have the cost. Have the cost. Have the time. Have the time. Have the portion. Have the portion. Diligence.
Careful and persistent work.
Work with diligence. Work with diligence. Show diligence. Show diligence. Reward diligence. Reward diligence. Concession.
Something given up or discounted.
Make a concession. Make a concession. Student concession. Student concession. Concession stand. Concession stand. Subsidy.
Money given to support.
Receive a subsidy. Receive a subsidy. Government subsidy. Government subsidy. Fuel subsidy. Fuel subsidy. Subsidiary.
A company controlled by another.
Subsidiary company. Subsidiary company. Subsidiary role. Subsidiary role. Foreign subsidiary. Foreign subsidiary. Botanical.
Relating to plants.
Botanical garden. Botanical garden. Botanical research. Botanical research. Botanical name. Botanical name. Domain.
A specific area or field.
Public domain. Public domain. Scientific domain. Scientific domain. Enter the domain. Enter the domain. Confidential.
Intended to be kept private.
Confidential information. Confidential information. Strictly confidential. Strictly confidential. Confidential report. Confidential report. Clutch.
To hold tightly.
Clutch the bag. Clutch the bag. Clutch the steering wheel. Clutch the steering wheel. Tight clutch. Tight clutch. Thrive.
To grow vigorously.
Business thrives. Business thrives. Thrive in environment. Thrive in environment. Thrive under pressure. Thrive under pressure. Embark.
To start aboard.
Embark on a journey. Embark on a journey. Embark on a project. Embark on a project. Embark upon adventure. Embark upon adventure. Queer.
Unusual or odd.
Queer feeling. Queer feeling. Act queer. Act queer. Queer behavior. Queer behavior. Oppress.
To treat harshly or unjustly.
Oppress minorities. Oppress minorities. Feel oppressed. Feel oppressed. Oppress the people. Oppress the people. Aid.
A helper, especially in politics.
Presidential aid. Presidential aid. Medical aid. Medical aid. Aid to the minister. Aid to the minister. Conspiracy.
A secret plan.
Conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory. Conspiracy to kill. Conspiracy to kill. Uncover a conspiracy. Uncover a conspiracy. Disarmament.
Reduction of weapons.
Global disarmament. Global disarmament. Call for disarmament. Call for disarmament. Disarmament talks. Disarmament talks. Functional.
Working or practical.
Functional design. Functional design. Fully functional. Fully functional. Functional system. Functional system. Civic.
Relating to a city or citizens.
Civic responsibility. Civic responsibility. Civic duty. Civic duty. Civic center. Civic center. Subtract.
To take away.
Subtract numbers. Subtract numbers. Subtract from total. Subtract from total. Easily subtract. Easily subtract. Harmonious.
In agreement.
Harmonious relationship. Harmonious relationship. Harmonious music. Harmonious music. Live harmoniously. Live harmoniously. Displace.
To force to leave or replace.
Displace people. Displace people. Displace the water. Displace the water. Displace anger. Displace anger. Vertical.
Upright position.
Vertical line. Vertical line. Vertical growth. Vertical growth. Vertical axis. Vertical axis. Administer.
To manage or give.
Administer a test. Administer a test. Administer medicine. Administer medicine. Administer the program. Administer the program. Fury.
Violent anger.
Full of fury. Full of fury. Scream in fury. Scream in fury. Uncontrollable fury. Uncontrollable fury. Prestige.
High status or respect.
Gain prestige. Gain prestige. Prestige University. Prestige University. International prestige. International prestige. Comprise.
To be made up of.
Comprise parts. Comprise parts. Comprise the team. Comprise the team. Comprise elements. Comprise elements. Kin.
Family members.
Next of kin. Next of kin. Blood kin. Blood kin. Close kin. Close kin. Magnitude.
great size or importance.
Magnitude of the problem. Magnitude of the problem. Earthquake magnitude. Earthquake magnitude. Full magnitude. Full magnitude. Perpetual.
Never ending.
Perpetual motion. Perpetual motion. Perpetual struggle. Perpetual struggle. Perpetual rain. Perpetual rain. Limp.
To walk lamely or lacking firmness.
Limp after injury. Limp after injury. Limp handshake. Limp handshake. Walk with a limp. Walk with a limp. Exclamation.
A sudden cry or remark.
Exclamation of surprise. Exclamation of surprise. Use an exclamation mark. Use an exclamation mark. Joyful exclamation. Joyful exclamation. Superstition.
Unfounded belief.
Believe in superstition. Believe in superstition. Old superstition. Old superstition. Superstition about luck. Superstition about luck. Eccentric.
Odd or unusual.
Eccentric behavior. Eccentric behavior. Eccentric millionaire. Eccentric millionaire. Sound eccentric. Sound eccentric. Twig.
A small branch.
Break a twig. Break a twig. Bird on a twig. Bird on a twig. Twig snaps. Twig snaps. Concise.
Short and clear.
Concise explanation. Concise explanation. Keep it concise. Keep it concise. Concise summary. Concise summary. Subscription.
An agreement to receive regularly.
Magazine subscription. Magazine subscription. Cancel subscription. Cancel subscription. Monthly subscription. Monthly subscription. Abusive.
Using harmful language or behavior.
Abusive relationship. Abusive relationship. Abusive language. Abusive language. Abusive behavior. Abusive behavior. Flattery.
Excessive compliments.
Empty flattery. Empty flattery. Use flattery. Use flattery. Fall for flattery. Fall for flattery. Steadfast.
Loyal and unwavering.
Steadfast support. Steadfast support. Stay steadfast. Stay steadfast. Steadfast friend. Steadfast friend. Elastic.
Able to stretch and return.
Elastic band. Elastic band. Elastic fabric. Elastic fabric. Elastic response. Elastic response.